Welcome back to the Andrew Tate Show by GSMC Sports. We were just talking about the postponement of the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. And now as we move into our segment 2, I do want to remind you that we do get a lot of questions and comments that come in to the show as we are airing. And so if you want to go to gsmcpodcast.net, you can leave a tip or a donation that will ensure that we see your question. It will put it at the top of our list, and we are happy to engage with those comments and questions. Again, that is gsmcpodcast.net. And now moving into our segment 2, the Dallas Cowboys head coach, Mike McCarthy, recently praised backup quarterback
You got
Trey
Mike
Lance.
Tyson up here right now.
Give me 1 second. All right, I thought I clicked off the right thing, but I did not. So hang in there. Too many T's in my... They're all T's. Look at that. Okay. Everything starts with a T. So the Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy recently praised backup quarterback Trey Lance during the team's OTAs, sparking conversations about Lance's future role. Lance, competing with Cooper Rush for the backup position, did not see action last season, but has shown significant improvement. McCarthy highlighted Lance's growing understanding and mastery of the Cowboys' offensive system, indicating a potential shift in the quarterback hierarchy. Lance, a former first-round pick by the San Francisco 49ers in the 2021 NFL Draft, had his 2022 season cut short due to a broken ankle. Acquired by the Cowboys for a fourth-round pick, Lance is pushing for more reps, and his development has been noteworthy. McCarthy emphasized Lance's athleticism and improvements in his motion and timing, positioning him as a strong contender for the backup spot. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys' starting quarterback, praised Lance's work ethic and competitive push he provides. Prescott, who was negotiating a new contract, recognized Lance's potential to elevate his own performance. Cooper Rush, the current backup, also demonstrated his capability by leading the Cowboys to a 4-1 record while filling in for an injured Prescott in 2022. All three quarterbacks are set to become free agents after the 2024-25 season. While Rush has been reliable, Lance's youth and talent make him an intriguing option for the Cowboys' future. Team owner Jerry Jones might consider Lance as a long-term insurance plan, especially if Prescott's contract negotiations become complicated. The Cowboys plan to give Lance significant playing time during the preseason with matchups against the Rams, Raiders, and Chargers. This will be crucial for Lance to showcase his abilities and potentially attract interest from other NFL teams. As Lance continues to develop, the Cowboys quarterback situation remains a dynamic storyline with implications for both the current season and the future. So, Tate, thoughts on three good prospects.
Well, okay. Cooper Rush, he's a longtime backup of the Dallas Cowboys. He did have a nice run when Dak was out, but Cooper Rush, you can't really talk about him as a potential starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Despite, I know Skip Bayless from another network thinks he can be. He's not even in the running, even though I think he's a very solid quarterback. So this whole story is, it's kind of positive. It's positive, but it's also, I worry that it's spin as well. When you look into the Dallas Cowboy camp, one, are they praising Trey Lance because of the fact that they have a negotiation with Dak Prescott, who can't be franchise tagged, he can't be traded, he's an outright free agent at the end of this year, and are they trying to put more pressure on him? Like, hey, we could go with Trey Lance if we don't go with you, as in hoping that that's enough to get him to sign a more Cowboy-friendly contract. Is this the plan for the Cowboys? Look, we ran with Dak for a long time. Dak's incredibly expensive. We have a lot of other really expensive pieces like CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons that we have to sign. Do we reset and go with the young quarterback and start over? And that's the thing that pops in my head is that the plan? Because I'm starting to feel that way, that this is Dak's last year, and they want to get a true look at Trey Lance before letting Dak leave. I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think the Cowboys can sign Dak. That's the interesting thing, and here's the reason why. Dak's going to reset the quarterback market. Dak's going to be the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. Dallas Cowboys are going to have salary cap issues. There are going to be some teams that are going to be able to make a contract so big for Dak that the Cowboys can't match it. It's one of those things where you look at some of the teams and you're like, okay, one thing that people don't realize is you can carry some of the salary cap over. So making a situation where you make a very heavy front end contract for Dak makes it so Dallas cannot sign Dak. The Dallas will not be the highest bidder for Dak Prescott's services. So even if they want him back, I don't know if Dallas can bring him back. That's something that make sure you know, I am a Cowboy fan. So when you look at that, the only way I feel like Dak is coming back is if Dak truly wants to come back. Then maybe Dallas may not be the biggest contract offer, but Dallas will put out the biggest option, hoping that that's enough to sign him. Secondly, or thirdly, or fourthly, whichever one you want to look at that this way, I don't know. Is there a scenario where the Cowboys just look at Dak, look at what they've done the last few years with the weapons they put around them, Dak, the defense that they put out last year, and say, we're not going to bring him back. He's a very talented quarterback, but is he worth $60 million a year when you can get a Trey Lance at, let's say, a $25 million a year? So you could give Trey Lance a prove-it deal, let's say like a 3-year, 4-year deal, $100 million, and make him the quarterback of the future. You could franchise tag Trey Lance. There's a lot of things that you can do with Trey that you will not have those options with Dak. And if it's going to be, Dallas is going to be contending for a playoff, but are they truly contending for a Super Bowl? I say less now than ever. I thought last year was the perfect opportunity where the offense, the defense, everything fit perfectly, with the exception of the running game. The running game was their Achilles heel last year, and it ended up costing them. This year, I look at the team and I say a lot less players, no Tyron Smith. Like I said, they lost eight players to free agency. They didn't bring any major free agents. The biggest free agent that they brought back in was Ezekiel Elliott, who is 400 years old. At running back, that doesn't make you think like the Cowboys running game has improved. They're not very deep at wide receiver. So I feel like Dallas has taken a step back, not moved forward. And if they're going to take a step back and they're not contending for a Super Bowl after this year, I could easily see the Jerry Jones looking at it and just saying, it's time to reset and step back. Not necessarily rebuild. It is time to reset. Reset with a new quarterback, with a more friendlier contract situation, and move on from Dak, who, his family hasn't been the biggest. They've been kind of openly negative toward the Cowboys and being a Cowboys. Talking about his brother, talked about he was signed somewhere else, his mom, things of that nature. Family members, you hear this. If you're hearing this, what is the family saying to Dak? Dak may just want out. You could easily see a situation where the Cowboys may just want out with Dak. but divorce court feels like it's coming sooner than later. There's no real negotiating going on right now. It's kind of like on the Cowboys, we're going to wait and see. What are we going to get this year? And then we'll make that decision. So I don't look at it as a good thing. I do look at it as a good thing that Trey Lance, they're speaking very highly of Trey Lance, intentionally talking about how he's mastered the offense. That's a statement, that's coming in. You don't hear, oh boy, Cooper Rush, he's mastered the offense. Cooper Rush doing this. I feel like it's one of those things that teams do to have people start to understand what the future is. So when we make that move and we part ways with Dak, and you look around and Trey Lance is under center, you kind of understand this has been building. And so I do see this as a move that has been building.
Very important question for you, though. Is Ezekiel Elliott being 400 years old in football terms, older or younger than Mike Tyson in boxing terms, being 57?
Woo. Man. I'm looking at running back years are like that's dog years for sure. 1 year is 7 years for a running back. No, I'm saying that Ezekiel Elliott's older than Mike Tyson.
Okay.
I'm just flat out. I don't know how. I don't see Ezekiel Elliott as having much tread at all. I'm thinking that Deuce Vaughn's going to be the starting running back, and Ezekiel's going to be that short yardage and goal line type of back. That's my prediction, but I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. Royce Freeman is in there. Do they use Royce Freeman a lot more? Make where Royce is the regular back and Ezekiel Elliott is the short yardage back. These are things I'm more curious about, because if Dallas doesn't have a running game, Dallas is in trouble this year.
All right. Well, thank you for answering my very silly question with a very serious answer. We're going to take our second break of this episode. When we come back, we'll be talking about that $20 million settlement, more about that, how it affects Title IX and Title IX affects it. You are tuned into the Andrew Tate Show by GSMC Sports, and we will be right back.